Columbus's voyage did not go smoothly at first, for along the coast of Africa, rough seas twice caused damage to one of the ships, and the sailors had to wait a whole month in the Canary Islands while repairs were made. But on September 6th, Columbus's ships finally sailed west into the unknown waters of the Atlantic Ocean. The ships sailed on for over a month, but as time went by, the crew, having seen nothing but water for so long, began to doubt they would ever see land again. Some feared sea monsters would get them, while others worried that if the world was flat, they might sail off its edge. And after 34 days at sea, they begged Columbus to turn back, but he refused. The difficult decision to keep going had enormous historical consequences. For just 2 days later, on October 12th, land was sighted, and Columbus was overjoyed, for he believed he had actually reached Asia. Little did he know that his long journey from Spain had only carried him to the Bahama Islands southeast of present-day Florida. But not long after claiming the island he had discovered for Spain, Columbus sailed off to do some more exploring. He even sent small boats up some of the rivers, searching for the great cities he had heard of. But except for a few native villages, all he found was wilderness. Many years were to pass before the Spanish were to learn that great civilizations existed in this part of the world. In fact, in modern-day Guatemala, this temple still stands in the ancient Mayan city of Tikal, which was abandoned hundreds of years before Columbus was even born. Before returning to Europe in January of 1493, Columbus collected specimens of animal life, exotic plants, and even a few native people to show the king and queen. And on one of the larger islands, he left 40 crewmen behind to establish a Spanish colony. It was April before Columbus laid eyes on the familiar landscape of Spain again. And when he finally reached the royal court, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella were so pleased with what they learned, they decided to set him up with a fleet of 17 ships filled with supplies, horses, farm animals, and 1,500 settlers for his new colony. But when Columbus got back to his colony, he discovered that everyone he left behind had been killed by the island people in revenge for the cruel treatment they had received at the hands of these first Spanish colonists. However, Columbus soon started a new colony, and then for 3 years continued his explorations around the Caribbean Sea. And it is interesting to note that, even though Columbus returned to the West Indies 2 more times, when he died in 1506, he always believed that he had been exploring Asia.